What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you my 5 bottles that I'm most disappointed about in 2022. Let's get right on into it. So before we get into the top 5 bottles, I want to let you guys know about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway if you haven't heard about it already. We're doing 4 2-ounce samples of Eagle Rare, Blanton's, Weller Special Reserve, and Wild Turkey Rare Breed. So if you want your chance to get entered into that 1,000 subscriber giveaway, make sure you're subscribed, liking, and commenting on these videos so that way I know that you are enjoying the content that I'm bringing out to you guys. But without further ado, let's get into bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 is going to be one that I actually enjoy, but in my opinion, because of how scarce it is to find, there are other bottles that are just as good or maybe even better. And that bottle goes to Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Now, sitting at 94 proof, this bottle is really, really good. I did a Toasted Barrel series, and the one that came out on top was Old Forester 1910 Old Fine Whiskey. And this bottle right there, in my opinion, you can find it absolutely anywhere, and it's not allocated like this one seems to be. And if you're looking for a fantastic toasted bottle, Old Forester 1910 is the way to go. Bottle number 2 that I am very disappointed about goes to 1792 Bottled in Bond. Now, this bottle right here, in my opinion, is probably one of the most bitter bottles that I have bought this year. And in my opinion, if you're looking for a good 1792, go with a single barrel, because this bottle right here, in my opinion, just doesn't cut the cake. And the bitterness that you get on the back end of the palate and the shortness of the finish, in my opinion, it's just not that good. So if you're looking for a different 1792 compared to the small batch and the full proof, I highly, highly, highly recommend the single barrel. Bottle number 3 that I am very disappointed about is going to go to Old Forester Single Barrel 90 proof. Now, the Old Forester Single Barrel strength is one of the best bottles that I have ever had on my shelf, and it is an absolute fantastic pour. But if you're interested in the market in a single barrel by Old Forester and you see this black label right here, I highly recommend not picking it up. In my opinion, it's just not that good. It's a very, very thin palate. It's a very short finish. Not a lot of flavor going on with it. I'm not quite sure what they do when they cut it, but in my opinion, if you're in the market for an Old Forester single barrel, make sure you save up a little bit more money and pick up the barrel strength. Bottle number 4 that I'm a little bit on the edge about is going to have to go to Russell's Reserve 10-year. Now, don't get me wrong, Russell's Reserve single barrels or Russell's Reserve store picks are by far some of the best bottles on the market for that $55 to $70 mark, depending on how aged it is, what the proof point is. But in my opinion, this bottle right here is just super, super bitter. There's this mustiness going on with it. I thought I liked it in the beginning, but after this bottle opened up for a little bit, I couldn't find a palate for it, and I really didn't enjoy it. Now, that might hurt a couple of people's feelings, but in my opinion, this bottle right here was a big disappointment. And bottle number 5 that I picked up this year, that was one of the biggest disappointments in my opinion, is gonna have to go to Michter's Small Batch American Whiskey. Now, sitting at 83.4 proof and nearly $60, $55 this bottle is for an 83 proof. This bottle right here just it doesn't belong on anybody's shelves. Now, if it was $40, then by all means go for it. But this bottle, in my opinion, does not hold that price point. The flavor, it's a very short finish. It's a very thin palate. It's a very good whiskey to get somebody into whiskeys and bourbons. But there are other ones out there that can get people into it for a smaller price tag. That is going to do it for my top 5 biggest disappointment whiskeys of 2022 so far. We still have 4 more months in the year of 2022 to see if there's anything else that is going to disappoint us. But at the moment, those are the top 5. So let's see what the end of the year brings. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and leaving a comment on what your top 5 biggest disappointment bottles of 2022 are. Until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.